G'day, g'day, g'day. Hello, folks. Andrew Griffiths here with the one, the only Tracy Sheen. We've been gas bagging for about an hour before we press record, and we thought, well, we better actually do it. We better record this session that I've promised everyone. And thank you so much, Tracy, for giving your time today to share your thoughts about AI, and most significantly, I guess, how we need to be using it. I've asked you really today to probably do a little bit of a focus around platforms. That seems to be the one that I'm certainly getting asked about, and I'm interested in probably is the other part about that. I've completely mastered ChatGPT now, so like I need another challenge. I know how to type in what's a good recipe for chicken soup. Nailed that. Taking the rest of the week off. But I guess the place that I would like to start is, sorry, let me just go back a little bit there. You're in the midst of writing a new book called AI and You. And,
yes.
And how's that going?
It's going. The problem is it's a moving target. So, at some point I draw a line in the sand and hope for the best.
I think it's one of those books that you need to get it, printed in pencil. So you can just kind of keep rubbing it out and changing that. Such a challenge to write a book about a topic that is so dynamic. And I don't personally think I've ever seen a topic that's moving so rapidly.
It really
as AI.
Yeah.
So where are we at? If we were going to say on the AI timeline, I don't know if that's the right kind of metaphor, but like, what are you saying to people about AI now?
We're kind of at the steam engine in the Industrial Revolution.
Great. That's a really, really helpful kind of process. So it kind of, if we get enough steam and we do enough bulk, it'll kind of head in that direction. It'll be messy. There's going to be soot everywhere. There's going to be a few explosions. There's going to be a few derailments, but we're moving. We've built this thing and it's heading in whatever direction it's kind of pointed.
Yeah.
Okay. And so where is it going? Like, when do we get to a bullet train? Is that 10 years, 1 year?
I think what we're going to see is we're going to be bullet train in some industries, and I hope not Chernobyl in others, but I think it's going to be quite almost industry specific for the speed at which it moves.
And is that at the speed at which it's adopted and incorporated into industries? Is that what you mean by movement?
Yeah, I think so. If we take like medical, for example, like the speed at which we're seeing the adoption of AI and what it's able to do is really intriguing. Some of the things that they're seeing now in terms of diagnosis of melanoma and diagnosis of Parkinson's and dementia and all of that kind of thing is now far exceeding what humans can already do at the speed of which the diagnosis is happening. The reason it's not being unleashed is because they also don't know why it's so accurate when they're mapping back to, so for example, the AI is now able to accurately diagnose dementia approximately 3 to 5 years earlier based on retina scans, that's all, 3 to 5 years earlier than humans. But when they're looking at the data and they're talking it through with the actual GPs, or not GPs, the specialists don't know why.
That's a bit disconcerting, isn't it?
Correct. So I think there's so in some ways I think we'll see that progression happen really quickly and continue to move, and then in some areas I think it's going to be a bit slower to adopt. Clearly, investors and that type of thing are interested in this space. So I think it was 2021 or 2022, it was $1.37 billion in VC put into AI, which was more than the previous 5 years total.
So it's an
So,
exponential investment, which
so
it would
once you
have
see
to
the
be.
money thrown at it, you know that things are going to speed up. But then it's that rollout and implementation that always takes that time to catch up. Plus, of course, you've got governments and everyone a little up in arms right now going, well, we don't know what this means. We're always years behind any kind of evolution. So we're really having to kind of watch what Canada and the European Union are up to in terms of regulations and ethics and all that kind of stuff before we see what that really looks like.
So bottom line is, look, it's here to stay. I don't think anyone's,
it's here.
It's not going. It's been here for a lot longer than you've spoken about that. It's like, we've really had AI around. It's just kind of got to a much, more accessible and more definable kind of a role. So obviously we want to talk mainly about small business and application. And I guess a lot of my discussion so far has been, you've got to, resisting it is kind of futile. And also the longer you leave it before you start utilizing it, probably the harder it's going to be. But it also is overwhelming. I think it's scary for people. I think it's not the whole the AI is going to take over the world. I don't really feel that is a scary part. I think it's like whenever tech comes along of some sort, the small business owners, the fear is getting left behind. And, it's like, if I don't embrace the internet, if I don't embrace social media, if I don't embrace, AI, will my business, be able to survive in the future? And I guess, so my positioning has been get on board at the simplest. Learn how to use ChatGPT for some of the most basic of things. Use it for some survey work. Use it for market research. Use it for ask it simple questions. But that's the easiest and simplest place to start. I'm kind of interested in what advice do you offer to people in small business, because you're doing a lot of work with people in this space, that you're looking at a room full of business owners, young, old, and all the rest of it, and they've got a little bit of that, deer in the headlights kind of look. How do you position it for them, and what advice do you give to people about this AI phenomenon, particularly as small business owners?
Yeah. Look, the first thing I always start with is I still don't think a lot of people realize that they've actually been using AI a lot longer than what they actually recognize. So if you use Google Maps, you're using AI. If you watch Netflix, you're using AI. If you, have used Facebook or LinkedIn or any of those social media platforms, you're already using AI. If you flash your everyday rewards card or Flybuys card at, any kind of supermarket, you're already using AI. So I think the first thing is like, just exhale and realize that you're already using it.
Great.
Right? It's already a part of your life. So you can immediately drop the, like, what am I going to do? Because it's part of your life. You're already there. So now it's just moving from that unconscious awareness that you've been using it to making it a conscious choice to bring it into your world, your business, your world, whatever that looks like. So ChatGPT for most people is that line in the sand. It's where the media kind of went, oh my God, AI is here and we all need to run around in circles and panic. So for a lot of people, most of the people I've been speaking to, ChatGPT is that moment where they became consciously aware of AI.
It moved from the collective AI. That was like the poster child for AI.
Absolutely.
At the beginning of the year kind of thing. All of a sudden, it's now AI has an identity and it's got an interface that we can, go and utilize, right? Yeah.
So like anything, for me, it's what's the thing that interests you about your business or your industry or your family or whatever, and play with AI around that. Because if you've already got an interest in it, then adding or supplementing that interest by incorporating some kind of AI tool makes it easier. I'm someone who always goes about things kind of arse end up. So I always look for the things that I hate and try and make it easier. So, you know, I hate Excel, I hate spreadsheets, I hate all that kind of stuff. So the first thing I wanted to play with ChatGPT about was, you know, can it design pivot tables and can it come up with formulas? Because I've never understood that stuff. And once I figured out that, oh, okay, it can help me with the stuff that I hate, then it made it easier for me to go, well, actually, I already like this. So imagine what it can do if it could take that load of the stuff that I can't stand, and I can use it on the stuff that I love. I guess the thing to always remember, because we're in that initial kind of building up ahead of steam, all AI tools like to hallucinate is the official word, which is, you know, just they make shit up. And if you don't know what you don't know, you could get caught in a rabbit hole of, you know, perpetuating something that's actually incorrect.
Of course.
Which is why I say it probably makes sense to start in an area that you already have a level of familiarity and understanding, because you can just confirm whether or not this is assisting you in moving forward.
And that's been an interesting thing. I think, again, we've all heard about this, you know, people saying, oh, it's accurate, but it's not that accurate. There are inaccuracies. And it's actually a great point, because where I started was, you know, getting AI to offer advice around speaking, about book writing, around small business, etc. And stuff that I would be able to go, well, you know, that's wrong, that's right. Being able to get it to a synopsis on a book, you know, or a synopsis on a person, write a bio for this person, that kind of stuff. And you could see where it had grabbed things from there that were not that accurate. Like, it gets me confused with Andy Griffiths, the kids author, right? There's a bit of an overlap there, that my books are 101 Ways to Market Your Business and a 13-story treehouse.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of, so I think that's a nice kind of context if you're going to play around with it. You know, and I've heard people say that they started using it for household stuff, you know, things to keep, you know, active, to keep the kids engaged on a rainy day, you know, like the best family friendly walks here or there or whatever, and to use it as a simplified Google kind of, you know, option, search engine option, where instead of 100 different websites to troll through, you're ending up with one piece of information. So I think there's great, you know, kind of merit in that as a start. So if we go down again, then say, right, so as small business owners, I'm tending to say to people, use it for stuff that's going to save you time or save you money. You know, start there. Like, you know, rather than if you're systems, what are you doing over and over and over again? Well, ChatGPT can certainly help you to come up with one set of answers, one, you know, systemizing, help you with Google Docs, all that stuff. The only thing is that what I don't know is I can do a prompt in ChatGPT, but how do I get it to develop a, you know, something on a Google Excel sheet? You know, like, how do I get it to do a diagram that I want? How do I get it to, like Bronwyn Reed, she got ChatGPT to design a slide deck for her on something to do with environmental science. I think I'm really interested in understanding what are some of the platforms that we can use that have AI, I guess, embedded in them. And you know, like, how do you find out about that kind of stuff? How do you stay on top of that? So are there certain platforms we all should be using or all should be playing around with? Tell me everything.
Sure. Okay, so first things first, I think the next big evolution that we're going to see is Microsoft Copilot launches this month, in June. And that's the culmination for Microsoft of embedding ChatGPT into Office 365.
Okay.
So it's now going to mean that you'll be able to open up Microsoft Word or Excel or PowerPoint, and now you can start doing stuff inside those individual programs without having to have GPT open and then try and copy and paste things across or do different things. So that's, I think, the next evolution, because that also then means that being 365, that it's going to incorporate across your emails and across your calendar and across Teams.
Right.
So now it's starting to integrate across the whole of business. So we're not that far off me getting an email from you saying, hey, you know, can we catch up and do this recording on Thursday at 11? And the AI is going to read that and automatically diarize that for me and grab the Teams link and put that in and be able to respond to you and
Mm-hmm.
go, yep, calendar's clear, we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the next kind of evolution that I think we're going to see.
Mm.
Google has Bard, which is its version of ChatGPT, and it's beginning to incorporate it across the G Suite of services as well. So I think the next big evolution that we need to be aware of is that incorporating across a suite of products.
So what about Apple?
Apple, interestingly, they're making big leaps in the VR world, and their AI is going to incorporate across VR. I'm really intrigued about their headset. It's going to be $5,500 when it launches. So, of course, it's, but I think the thing that Apple does, whether you're an Apple user or not, there's something about once Apple's done it, it kind of cements it as mainstream, because they always just have that nice level of sophistication around their products, and it just becomes easy to use and a little bit more ubiquitous then across society. So they've got an interesting one where they're incorporating their headset that you'll still be able to see through the lens and what's going on in the normal office kind of thing. And if someone walks in, they'll walk into your virtual space. So if you enter my office, it'll kind of go across my VR world then, that you'll be moving from real world into my virtual world, and I'll be able to have that conversation. And then they're incorporating AI into that aspect as well. So that's kind of interesting that they're working on that in the sidelines. But I think the next big thing is whether you're a 365, like a Microsoft user or a Google user in terms of your platform, operating platform, you're going to see some big changes creeping through. And I'm already seeing it with the 365 products, because if you're in Excel now, you'll notice that it will, a bit like Clippy, remember the old paper clip? I see you're trying to do this. It's kind of Clippy, 2.0. Right. So now when you're opening up Excel, we're starting to see that, would you like me to design a pivot table? Did you want to this? Did you want to that? So I think that's going to kind of be the next evolution, which means then that a lot of the supplementary platforms that we're seeing now are going to be redundant quickly, because you're going to become a lot stickier to that platform of choice, because it's going to make it harder and harder and harder for you to leave the 365 universe if you've gone in with that. And they're playing with, Microsoft are playing with things like, being able to build landing pages just by implementing a few words, so that kind of stuff then makes them a stickier world for you. But right now, if we look outside of ChatGPT, so I think the big thing for me is, let me pause for a second. If you're playing with platforms, and that's all I say you should do, is stay curious and play with platforms. Just be aware, I wouldn't sign up for anything on an annual subscription.
Okay, good.
I'm going month to month. And
just because of that rapid
speed of movement. And I think we're going to see a lot of platforms come and go pretty quickly.
Geez, it's funny you say that. Like, I've noticed that a bit in the last few weeks. Like, I joined a platform last year, which was by one of the founders of Kajabi, and it was called Coach Snap, and it was the idea was great. It was as a dedicated kind of platform for coaches. So you could, schedule meetings, you could have all your notes, you could send data, you can, keep your files. It was really just a great organization, but good interaction tool for coaching. The idea of it was kind of nice. I think it was like $1,500 for life when you join it and all the rest of it. And for me, I kind of went down the pathway of going, look, it's a good investment. It's better than having Excel spreadsheets and Trello and this and all the rest. It's a very logical thing. And it's ironic, I got an email yesterday from them saying, yeah, we're not going to go ahead. We're not going to keep doing it. We're pulling it. And it's like, I thought, wow, that and another platform I can't quite remember which one it was. It wasn't as big an investment, but it was like a $29 a month thing that I had for a few years that I did various things with, but not a lot. It just never got around to, ending it. But again, we're shutting the platform down. And I agree. My aha out of that was just avoid those for life purchases, or even the annual purchases as well. So I should have just done a monthly thing with this, coaching one, but it just seemed like, well, that's a great idea. I'm sure they'll develop it. Kajabi is a good platform. They'll get there, but of course they didn't. And, it was also a little bit ruthless. This kind of email saying, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. See ya. Well, hang on, give me my money back. You know what I mean? If you're not going to do it, rah, rah. But that's really, really good advice, because I'm getting it. I'm sure everyone is like these emails all day. Join this, this platform, join that platform. This one with 700 ChatGPT prompts in it, and this one's got this and all of that kind of stuff. And I've got to say, part of me then, Tracy, gets a little bit like, oh my God, do I need to have that? Am I missing out by not being across that? Do I blah, blah, blah? Just what you've shared there is fabulous. And I'm sure that Apple must have to have something that's going to work in them with Keynote Mail,
100%.
Pages, and all, because Apple doesn't actually do that very well, from that point of view. Like, they're still all kind of individual products. They're not really tied together. And I guess that will bring that in. Are there any other platforms, though, that you think we really should be that fall outside of those bigger kind of suites?
Yeah, there's a few at the moment that I'm really, really interested in, and whether they hang around, I don't know, but they're kind of
so again, play with them, but
right now,
but don't commit too much, right? Okay.
I'm loving Tango, as in the dance, Tango. It's it basically creates your policies and procedures and your how-to guides for you really quickly. So it's a little bit like it is a screen recorder. So you jump on and you talk through, like, let's say you're doing a website review. So you would open up the website, you would talk through what you're talking about, you record it in Tango, and then it turns that information into the policy, the procedure, the how-to. Okay. So if you're developing any policies and procedures, it just takes all of that knowledge really quickly and turns it into what you need. So it's really cool, and I've been playing with it for a while. Interesting. And really like what it kind of does and how it creates that information really quickly. Wow. So that's Tango.
Love it.
I'm liking Fireflies is really popular. So Fireflies and Otter, I can't remember what the Otter Meeting, I think they're calling it, but Fireflies is it's a platform that automates all of your meeting notes. So if you're jumping into Zoom or Microsoft Teams or anything like that, and I do a lot of work with government departments and councils and chambers and things. So they have this thing about right fit for risk, that you need to be cautious that, what kind of data, et cetera, is it capturing and all the rest of it. So Fireflies, you invite it to the meeting, and then it takes all your meeting notes and then turns it into agendas, or turns it into you have to do this and you're doing that and all that kind of stuff. So if you're in a lot of those kinds of meetings, or you're sick of running agendas or any of that type of stuff, then Fireflies does all of that for you.
And Otter
have their own version. I think it's called Otter Meeting.
I've used this one now, and I notice a lot more people. Yeah, you set up your meeting, it gets in. It's a meeting platform as well as a recording platform, right?
Correct. I think the difference between, I've not played with the Otter one, so because it doesn't fit the right fit for risk with government departments. But the Fireflies, for example, I think the big difference is Fireflies will turn it all into a to-do list and an agenda as well, whereas Otter seems to be mainly structured around just capturing the minutes or the notes.
I think so, yeah. Okay, what other ones, Don?
I like ChatTube. So it talks to YouTube videos. Okay. So ChatTube, if you're needing to capture like a YouTube video, or you kind of want to know what's going on in a particular video, or maybe what keynotes they're focusing on, or what was the information delivered, then ChatTube will watch, understand the video, and then you can talk to it about the video. So it could be anything from even productizing. So, you know, where did the person get that microphone? And it will tell you what type of microphone they were using. And, you know, here's some links of where you could buy it, through to what were the key points of that video, and it will disseminate the information for you.
Okay, I love that. That's a pretty valuable little kind of tool.
It's pretty cool. It's a Chrome extension.
Okay.
So you've got to be using Chrome for it, but it is pretty kind of interesting. File Chat and Meet Cody are similar kind of things. File Chat I'm really liking, very similar to Meet Cody. And the concept
I don't know what Meet Cody is.
Oh, so yep. So File Chat and Meet Cody are kind of the same thing. So File Chat, I think it's filechat.io. I can give you the link, but I think it's filechat.io. Future Tools. Have a look in that one. Yep, that's it. So visit filechat.io.
Okay.
So Future Tools is one of the, you asked me where do I get my, like, what's coming, what's happening. Future Tools is one of them. So they capture each day or each week all the new releases, and then they kind of let you know. They just give you a whole bunch of stuff, and you've got to go down the rabbit hole and find what you want. But if you click that blue visit File Chat, yep. So what it does is it's kind of like ChatGPT for your own documents.
Oh, interesting. So I could put all of my books in through that, right?
Books, PDFs, web links, all of that kind of stuff. And then you can ask it, you know, what's the benefits of working for Andrew Griffiths? And if you've got a policy and procedure on employee stuff, it will give you all of that information, and it will give you the anecdotes, the notifications of where it pulled that information from.
Okay. I see great value in that for people that got a whole pile of content.
And the other thing that you can do is you can turn that then into a chat bot and connect it to your website if you want to.
So right.
So what I'm doing with some of the clients I've been working with is we're loading everything up, but they have an intranet, right? If they're like a counselor or something like that, they have an intranet, and then we're connecting file chat to the intranet. So then people are just able to ask File Chat the questions, rather than like, where's that document stored? Where's that procedure? Where's that policy? And because it annotates or tells you where it's pulling the information from, you can then click on the direct file, go to it and update it, or whatever you need to do if you need to. Now, I can't remember if it's File Chat or if it's Meet Cody, because very similar kind of concepts. One of them you can give a personality to as well. So you can train it in the tonality, the language, the phraseology, glossary of your business, and it will start to develop a personality for your business as well. That's kind of interesting.
And is it accurate? Like yours would be, you know, like a Melbourne Wharfie. Right, it's like direct, straight to the point, irreverent, you know, like all of those standard things that he just
self-deprecating. Absolutely, yeah. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It looked like any of the things, and it's the same as when you're learning, you know, or implementing anything in the business, right? Don't go down these rabbit holes if you're not prepared to give them time. You've got to train it. You've got to, you know, it's like the old dragon dictate.
Right? That was the reason that most of us stopped using it, was because it was so frustrating to teach it. And yet it's a great resource.
So once it's set up, it's awesome.
Most people, you know, again, that I got friends of mine who use it. A lot of doctors, of course, use it, you know, and people that use it go, oh my God, it's the greatest, you know, time-saving tool. But authors go to use it and they get so frustrated because it takes a year to really learn how to use it properly, or to train it. you know, as you say. So writing a book, it's a bit of a nightmare, unless you've already figured out how to use it. So
So if you're someone who is analytical and prepared to sit there and go through the process of, you know, learning it, great. If not, then my suggestion is find someone who can help you do the implementation and, you know, and teach you how to use it, because that's going to save you a bunch of time as well. Like, you know, what's worth doing, what's not worth doing, what's the best way that we can do this, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Recast, Recast. Recast reads articles for you, and then the AI will read them back as an audio file. So you can load your articles, you can, you know, do other things as well. But anything from newspaper articles, magazine articles, your own articles, you can load them up, and then the AI will read them back. Or will give you and it doesn't just read them back. It's really kind of cool that it okay, that's not it, I don't think. That doesn't look like
that's it. Recast TV, this one.
Yeah, so read just yeah, so what it does is it doesn't just read it back, it also takes the context, gives you context of the story as well. That's it. So yeah, it gives you context within the story as well. So this is great in the car, right? Like if you're you know, if you're doing a bit of driving or whatever, it will take a long form article and turn it into a, you know, 2, 3, 5 minute read, but it provides context, it provides all of that kind of stuff with it as well. So I'm having fun with that.
That's a great idea. They're all Chrome though. Oh no, I see.
No, so that's an iOS. That's, you know, a few others as well. You can download a straight extension. You can download it to your phone, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's AI that reads you the articles, so it's kind of interesting.
And you can change the voice? Yeah,
male, female,
French accent,
dialect, you know, yeah. Synestia is becoming really popular. So SYNETHESIA, I think, Synestia. And it is not synesthesia, but synestia. Sounds like you're sneezing at the same time. So SYN, I think it's E. Yep, that's it. So it's a video generation platform that you just type in your text and it turns it into a video for you. You can pick male, female, ethnicity, accent, language, all that type of thing. So as it says, 120 languages. You create your own avatar. And so for anyone who doesn't like having their own head on camera, or maybe wants to do a how-to or a walkthrough or something like that, then Synestia is a great tool for that stuff, because it really, you just type in your content and the AI will voice it. And
amazing.
And it looks like a real human, like, you know, that she's one of the things. So it's pretty hard to kind of tell that it's not.
That's so cool. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Is there any more that you think that we need to see? I look at this as I'm going to lose a couple of days of my life now going through these. Same thing with each of these. Are you saying I do just a monthly subscription if you want to play around with them?
And most of the ones that I talk about, to be honest, have what do you call it? The freemium. So you can play with it for free for a couple of things and then figure out if it's something you want to pursue or not.
That's pretty amazing that these guys are saying that they've got 50,000 companies. Like, obviously, these people didn't all sign up in the last 3 months. So to your point earlier on, this is something that people have been using for some time.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. What else? This is awesome, by the way, Tracy.
Good.
Exactly what I was after. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 so far. You know, that are all I can see the application for each and every one of them really well.
Cast Magic. So Cast Magic, yep, CAST. magic. So cast magic. This is particularly good. So it's still on AppSumo at the moment, I think. So if you want to grab it, it's worthwhile grabbing at the moment. So this one is particularly useful for podcasters or content creators. This repurposes all your content and creates your show notes.
Fantastic. Wow.
Yeah. Provides transcriptions, does all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool.
So you just put in your podcast recording, basically.
You upload an MP3 and it does all the post-production work for you.
So really, you could record an MP3 and use this to turn it into a podcast in theory.
Correct.
Simply because it does all of the stuff that you don't have. Wow, yeah. That's wild. Okay.
Okay, if you really want to get blown away, this is still very, very new. Stunning. STUNNING. It is a website developer that creates your website in literally a minute, 2 minutes. So maybe Stunning Website Creator or Stunning Website Builder. There we go. Yep, that'll do. Website Builder, Website Creator. There's a few of them out there now, but Stunning. So this uses ChatGPT and it uses DALL-E, the image generator. So if you type in what do you want to build, so if you type in at the bottom authors, so where it says what do you want to build, so maybe put in author's website. Okay, and then pick, does that industry look correct? So publishing, yep. So you could just say yes or no. So see, it's got in the top there, small business coach. Okay, what do you want to build? So go back to say author's website.
Oh, I see.
And then just say when it says publishing, is that correct? Just say yes.
Okay, yep. Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm not a good student.
And what's your business name? So yep. Okay, so now pick a design that you kind of like the look of.
I've got to go with Funky Bunk.
Funky Bunk? I would have gone Boot Boot, but that's okay.
Look, I'm going to go with Squiggle.
Okay. Mr. Squiggle it is. Generate. Okay. So this has changed in that this has only happened in the last week then.
So it just wants me to sign up, right?
I would say that's what it is. But it is generating it while it's getting you to sign up in the background there. So what it does now is it's creating your domain name, it's providing you the images, it's giving you the SEO tools, it's giving you hosting if you need it, all that kind of stuff. And as it creates everything, once it's created and it shows you, you can then amend or change anything around it as you like. So to me, this is going to be the future of web design for people that just need a really basic setup. And there's still so many small businesses I come across that don't need, the level of detail that you need, or, the level of detail that we would utilize and pay thousands of dollars for a website designer. So like I was chatting to a massage guy in Stanthorpe last week. He could use this 100%, because he just has a really basic of what he
service. Yeah. Okay.
So while it's doing that, it'll come back and it generates literally your homepage for you in a minute or two. It might be a bit upset with you about Firefox. They get a bit testy when you don't use
Chrome. Wow.
Yeah, Chrome.
Okay. Any others?
Munch, MUNCH, is a platform that takes clips out of long form videos and turns them into repurposed short form videos. So if you've got like a half hour or 1 hour workshop or keynote or webinar or whatever, you can load the video in, or the URL in, and then it converts it into short form repurposed content that you can then share across your socials.
Wow. How does it determine what's the most engaging parts of it? Does it do that, or does it want you to do that?
No, it does it. It does it. And then it says,
really?
what do you want to share it on? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and then it gives you the sizing and everything based on where you've said you want to share it to.
Oh, that's just ridiculous. Okay. All right. One more.
One more would be.
What about one fun one?
Nope, that's probably it. That's probably it.
Okay. Sorry. Something
They're
fun.
all
What about?
fun, though.
Well, they are all fun, but what about one for doing, like you're using AI for your book cover? Like, what's the platform that you'd say? Like, I know there's a few around. Do you reckon there's one that's better than others for coming up with diagrams?
Well, for images, I still like DALL-E. But I tell you what, like, use Bing now. So Bing is really awesome, the Microsoft.
Really?
So, because Bing uses ChatGPT, it'll give you images, it'll give you everything else. But don't forget that Canva has inbuilt AI now.
Yeah. So, how does that work?
So, have you got Canva?
I have.
Yep. So, if you open up Canva.
Okay, hang on. Okay.
And log in.
Okay.
And now go to your apps on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And so there we go. So they've added something else now. They've got AI presenters. So they're starting to introduce a bit like I showed you with Synesia. But go to like text to image. So under trending, first one on the left-hand side. Sorry, so go to your right.
On the right-hand side?
Yep. And then see you've got trending. I'm putting my arrow on the screen, but you're not seeing it.
No, tell me.
Left hand, go towards the left. Stop.
Over this way. Okay.
No.
Trending.
Stop.
Gotcha.
Trending. There we go. Okay. Text to image. Go underneath. First one
Gotcha.
underneath as well. Yep.
Yep.
And just go use in new design.
Use in new design. Okay. What would you like?
Just put in, doc auto size. It'll do. Anything, doesn't really matter. We just want to get a new page up. Okay, so this is their version of, so where it's blinking at you on the right-hand side, this is now their ChatGPT. So you can say, give me a social media post about being an author.
Okay. Or I can do an image.
Well, that's on the left-hand side. Can you see on where it says try an example? So where you are in the white document, move to the left-hand panel. Yep. And then just write in there smiling wombat.
Okay, it's happening.
It's happening.
There's a little blue line. It's all going. It's a cross between a koala and a wombat, I think, but I'll take it.
They're a little scary, but there you go. So that's exciting. So,
that's a cobat.
Even to just see that, they're starting to incorporate that directly into Canva.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty amazing. And weird and hilarious all in the same one.
Yeah. So, so then it's up to you to start playing and looking at, give me a cartoon version of a smiling wombat, give me a Picasso version of a smiling wombat, whatever that looks like, for you, and you can start playing with it. So in Canva, keep an eye on the apps because that's where they're uploading all the new stuff all the time.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that's even that though. Again, like that's just straight away. I mean, there's a day of your life gone, right? Just having a play around with that is just extraordinary.
So where you are on the right-hand side now, that's its version of ChatGPT for text. So that would be where you would say, give me 3 ideas for a social media post for an author, or write me a whatever. It's probably not going to know that one, to be honest, but let's see.
Really? It won't.
Yeah, let's see.
What's the magic?
So Ad Magic is its version of ChatGPT. So yeah. So if you go try it out.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, try it out. There we go. Now try your typing in. Yep.
5 words, right?
So one of the really interesting things that there you go. One of the really interesting things that we're learning about ChatGPT and the AI tools is over time, if you're polite to them, please and thank you, the quality of the responses is increasing by around 40%.
Okay, great lesson. Be nice to your AI. And
be nice to your overlords, because let's face it, if Terminator happens, we want them to look at us and go, we were a benevolent God and you were nice to us.
And all the people out there trying to use AI for porn, you guys are going to have a big price to pay somewhere down the line when the overlords come with their clipboard and decide, you know, who becomes a part of their servant households and who ends up in the solvent green tank. We know the way that this is going to go. So, all right, done. Hey, look, I can't believe it's already 22-1. We'll stop there. Thank you for your time. That was fantastic. That's so valuable for everyone out there. And my takeaways are really important, or a lot of clarity for me. The main platforms, the Microsoft, Google's, Apple, are chat's gonna be incorporated, just like Canva, which is again, you know, becomes such an incredible platform now for all of us as well. That you'd look at that, but then those other ones from Tango to Fireflies to Synthesia to Recast. I'm going to spend time on all of those actually, and I see great value in each and every one of those as a fabulous tool. And I think that's the moral to the story. Is, as you said, there's a free option for most of them. Have a play. If you want to go deeper, you know, pay for a month, pay for 2 months, you know, unsubscribe, you know, whatever it might be. But there's a lot of really practical kind of stuff there. I can see loading up videos. I could put an audio file on there and turn it into a podcast. And just play around with it, you know. Just you know, don't be afraid of the shit. Like, that's the bottom line, right? It's get on there. That's obviously what you do, right, Tracy? So you read about a platform and then you go, okay, I'll go and check it out and think, well, okay, then how could I use this? How's it going to save me time? How's it going to save me money? How's it going to make me money? How's it going to make my life easier? How cool is it for doing stuff? You know, one of the big challenges like podcasts is doing show notes and breaking it up and all the rest of it. Imagine a platform that could do that for you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, you know, really fantastic.
So last Thursday of every month, I do my top 10 AI tools.
How do people access that?
I'll give you the link and you can, you know, we can share it in the community. So that's free to register. It's 30 minutes and I just go through the 10 that I've found that month that I think are worth checking out. I give you the link, you go off and then have a play with them. I give you a bit of an overview of what they are. I show you how they work very quickly. And then it's up to you to spend that time in the next month between the next session and have a play with, you know, 1 or 2 and embed one or just
awesome. Oh, well, you know, I'd like to promote that link far and wide because I think that this is something that most people find absolutely fascinating at this stage. So awesome.
You don't need to be spending a couple of hours a day. That's what I do. You know, just come and hang out with 30 minutes every month and I'll give you 10 to go away and play with for the month.
Yeah, amazing. And I'm assuming that there's no shortage, you know, of apps, you know, and tools.
No, it was funny at the start of the year when I said to Pete, my hubby, you know, I'm going to turn because I've been doing my top 10 tech tools every month for a while now. I'm going to turn it. Because I'm focusing on the AI for the book. It's going to be top 10 AI tools. He went, you'll run out by March. And I went, betcha I don't. And every month it's getting, you know, more and more. So.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tracy. I really, really appreciate your time today. That's been incredibly helpful for me, and I'm sure everyone who watches this is going to be saying the same thing. You know, it's like, thank you for helping to demystify, to showcase that ChatGPT, you know, AI is more than ChatGPT. and we didn't spend time doing chat GPT, going online. I mean, I've done that with everyone to show that it's really simple. But this is a whole other great insight. And I just think it's hugely valuable. And I kind of think I need to share our conversation today even further than the business club. So I'll share it there first, but I think it should be shared with everyone in my community overall, because it's such great learnings in here. Like, I mean, holy crap, I'm blown away by that. So thank you so much.
And that's the bit that gets me, my final thought here. Remember right back at the start, I said we're just at the start of the steam engine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Imagine what this stuff is going to look like in another 6, 12, 3 years time. So that's why I don't say sign up for anything on an annual subscription now.
Yeah.
Everything is changing.
It's moving so fast. Well, and we still, it's still, to me, yet to be really fully incorporated into our phones. Like when you look at it, there's such extraordinary kind of tech and resource here, I think when AI goes to the next level in our phone, like Siri is a pretty basic form of AI now, where like it feels like very Stone Age-ish almost. Imagine what we can be doing, again, and think back, science fiction. You talking to your phone makes everything happen. We move the Enterprise by talking into the phone, like really controlling everything and all the rest of it. It's like, it's amazing. So, all right. Thank you so much, Tracy. I'm going to turn off record. Appreciate that and appreciate you. And I'll share that link with everyone here too as well about how you can sign up for those 10 AI tips every month as well. Thanks, darling.
Thank you.